What's up, everybody? This is Storm here. I hope everybody having a very good day. We're getting close to the holiday season, spending time with family during Thanksgiving. But before we get to Thanksgiving Day, we have a couple of gaming news that happened this past couple of days. So without further ado, let's take a crack at these news. The first one, we have a couple from Naughty Dog actually. The first one is a supposed job listing that revealed their mystery new IP that they have been working on. According to the job posting, it said environment artists have been working on a new IP called Timeless Travel, which I don't believe is the final name of the project. Is most likely just the code name, but it kind of gave us a little bit of a hint what could potentially be the Naughty Dog IP that they've been working on. But like all news that come out when it comes to gaming without a proper confirmation, take this with a grain of salt. So Timeless Travel kind of give off a vibe of a sci-fi type of game that Naughty Dog could be working on, and it could be very interesting because it is definitely out of their realm when it comes to game development. Most of their games are more like somewhat ground to like down to earth, like when it comes to like to the last, well, not really down to earth, but somewhat like apocalyptic, realistic type of thing, like when it comes to The Last of Us or the big old treasure hunter when it comes to Uncharted. So them doing a sci-fi genre is a very interesting take, and I am curious how it will perform. But not only this news that came out with Naughty Dog, we got a little bit something extra also. To add on with the Naughty Dog news about their new IP, it turns out Troy Baker is set to come back to Naughty Dog to work on their next untitled game. I swear, Troy Baker has some type of contract with everybody in the gaming industry, because this guy voice acts for everything. He was a soldier in the Halo Reach game. He played as Joel in The Last of Us. He's voicing Indiana Jones and the Indiana Jones games that's coming out. Like, I swear, this man is everywhere. Like, you literally cannot escape Troy Baker. And I don't dislike him as a voice actor and stuff, but like, good God, like, are there any more voice actors that want to voice something? But what can you do? Like, the guy is good at his job, so like he making the money. Like, he's literally up there with a lot of famous voice actors. Like, he is literally like Yuri Lowenthal when it comes to like shows, because Yuri Lowenthal, you got him as Ben 10, Sasuke from Naruto. So like, I kind of put Troy Baker out there with Yuri Lowenthal when it comes to his reach in the entertainment biz. So I guess now we're getting close to hopefully a review what this game is, because the fact out of nowhere we're getting Troy Baker to be the star voice actor for the next IP game, and this job list thing that kind of give us a potential hint what the IP could be. I think it all just comes down to when PlayStation is ready to announce it. Like, we're getting these subliminal messages that Neil Druckmann is like getting excited to eventually reveal it. And I saw this comment on somebody, like, I kind of agree with him. Like, unless you're showing it, stop talking about it, because it's like the situation that happened with Faction, the standalone Last of Us multiplayer that got canceled. Like, they was talking about it, then eventually got canceled. Until you're ready to show it off, or whenever Sony is ready to show it off, like, the game is a proper state that we show it and it comes out probably like the the next couple of months or a year to come out, then don't say nothing about it, in my opinion. Because look how Insomniac is right now. They announced Wolverine and we still haven't gotten an update for it. But I am giving Insomniac a leeway after the whole leak fiasco that they went through. So they could take up all the time that they need when it comes to that game. Naughty Dog, they definitely need a bounce back after the whole thing of them canceling factions. So, and low key, the only thing that came out from Naughty Dog is just remasters. So, The Last of Us 1 and 2. So, yeah. Naughty Dog definitely kind of took a little downhill, in my opinion. But hopefully, this new IP that they're eagerly waiting to announce is going to be a knockout of the park for them to bring them back into the limelight, per se. Alright, now that's all the Naughty Dog news that have come out. The next one is, unfortunately, another studio shutdown is happening. This comes from Shinobi. Humanoid Origin is shutting down due to funding issues. Formed by ex-Bioware veteran Casey Hudson, who helmed KOTOR, that's Knights of the Old Republic, and the Mass Effect trilogy, the team was working on a new sci-fi IP. And he's upset about it. Man, I swear, every single month, some studio is getting shut down or employees are getting laid off. This whole consolidation of them hiring a whole bunch of people because of the whole COVID situation that happened in 2020. Now that's dealt with, they don't need all this extra manpower, so everybody just getting the boot, and it really sucks. I haven't heard anything about this sci-fi IP that this studio was making, but it does kind of suck that the reason they're getting shut down because of funding issues. And in this day and age, it's really hard for some independent studios to get some back-end for their game, because I guess because, in my opinion, I think the risk is just too great for the project for the game not to do well, because like, even though like some indie studios are able to thrive and stuff, but it's like a case by case scenario. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. Some independent studios do good, and some they just do really bad, and that kind of sucks, because some people are unwilling to give the game like a fair chance to see how well it could do when it comes to some certain games. Like CD Projekt Red is an example. They're an independent studio, but they have like a big old cult following because how well the Witcher series did, and the Cyberpunk game did include with their DLC. Even though I was low-key pissed off at them how they handle the Cyberpunk launch when it comes to consoles, but the fact that they managed to do a 180, and I saw like a news thing that they put out that Cyberpunk 2077 sold 30 million copies, and the DLC did their Liberty expansion or DLC did like 8 million. So yeah, I think they did pretty well, and that kind of leads into the next bit of news that comes for CD Projekt Red. They have announced that their next Witcher game, basically Witcher 4, is going into full production. Yep, CD Projekt Red has announced their Project Polaris has entered production phase, which is the next Witcher installment. Um, I don't know much when it comes to the Witcher story or lore or anything like that. I've not played a Witcher game, but a lot of fans are excited for it. If I remember right, I believe it was said that you're not playing as Geralt in this one. I could be totally wrong, but this could be a whole new thing when it comes to the Witcher franchise, since this could be a whole new story, and the games are based off the books, if I remember right. So, yeah, I don't see this game coming out anytime soon. In my opinion, it could probably release like I could see it as a 2026 game. I don't see it as a 2025 in my opinion, because like even in 2025 we are. I believe we're gonna have a lot of games for 2025. Like we're still getting like a lot of announcements, especially with the Game Awards coming up. We're just gonna get even more announcements of upcoming titles that's most likely definitely coming out next year. Next year, like even next year, we got some pretty big hitters like Death Stranding 2, GTA 6, Metro Prime 4, uh, Ghost of Yotai, the supposed even like the rumors Switch 2 is coming out sometime in March. So 2025 looks like it's gonna be a big year for games. Hopefully those games deliver when they release. But with that being said, let's move on to our next set of news. And this news comes from a update of one I previously talked about, of PlayStation buying the parent company of From Software. In my last news video, we talked about Sony is in talks to purchase the parent company Kodakawa of Firm Software, who's in control of a lot of anime shows in Japan and also some games studios. But it turns out an update came out about it saying that it was actually Kodakawa that actually came to Sony for them to purchase them. And apparently this, and the report said this is not the first time that Kodakawa actually came to Sony, just because they want to remove the risk of being, they use the word hostile takeover of a Korean company from them. So I guess when some people say Sony was being greedy trying to purchase Kodakawa, turns out that Kodakawa actually came to Sony about an acquisition. So with this news coming out, is it more likely that Sony will get the parent company in the end? Who to say, but I do expect news probably coming out what's going to happen before this year is over. Like, it would be crazy if this if the news of Sony confirming that they did purchase Kodakawa, thus becoming the owners of Firm Software. It will be very interesting. This news come out during like the Game Awards to confirm like, yeah, they've been purchased or something like that, because if I remember right, they did something like it before. I think it was during like Gamescom that news came out that that Sony bought Insomniac, and during the whole event at Gamescom, they announced it that Sony has purchased Insomniac Games. So it would be very crazy to see it get announced at the Game Awards. And let's be honest, we know Jeff Keighley. He is a he's a heavy PlayStation person. Like, he could try to deny it, but like his excitement to announce stuff that's PlayStation related is like, yeah, you're not defeating those allegations, Jeff. Like, I could see it. Everybody could see it. But the whole thing of him being a fan, Kojima, that is a legitimate thing why he's a fan of him, because they did work on games together in the past. So I could see him being a big fan of Kojima. But overall, he is a big, heavy, diehard PlayStation fan. Alright. Now we're going to go on to our second to last bit of news. And this comes from PlayStation, which reports are saying they are in the works of making their own portable. Reports said that Sony is set to return to the handheld console market with a portable system that will play PS5 games natively on the go. It was also that said that this is a few years away, so don't expect it anytime soon. And the reason for this, because they're the big hype for the PlayStation Portal, it was definitely unexpected for them. And I truly believe the whole reason behind the PlayStation Portal, like when I saw the PlayStation Portal was a thing, in my mind I thought it was always like a test to see if their fan base will still be interested in a handheld, because the PSP and Vita wasn't really bad. It just there was stuff wrong with them that Sony was not prepared to deal with. Like when it came to the whole PSP, gamers didn't like they studios was being like their first party studios was being regulated to make handheld games. So at least that's why I saw people complain about. And Vita, the biggest part for them was the memory stick. Like the memory for the Vita was hella expensive, and it didn't really have that much games. So I think after learning what they did with the PSP and the Vita and looking at the handheld market how it is now, Sony is going to try to get back into it, and we'll just have to wait and see if they could do it very well. Supposedly it's going to be something like this, how the Steam Deck is doing it, and it's supposed to be a combatant for the Switch. So in my opinion, I don't think Sony will do well against the Switch, but it might do better in the other handhelds that's on the market right now. And it's kind of funny, this news came out after when Microsoft announced that they're going to do a handheld. But we just gotta wait and see who comes out with a handheld first. Like, in my opinion, Sony was secretly working on a handheld for the longest after like how well the PlayStation Portal was doing. So more than likely their official handheld is going to be based off how the Portal is. It just now you'll be able to play your games natively without any like drawbacks. Like you won't need a console. Like, especially right now, the PS Portal got an update. Well, right now it's in a beta that you'll be able to cloud stream your games without having to turn on your PS5. So I guess we'll just wait and see. If I had to guess when the possibility for it to come out, I would say like let's see. If I would have to guess, I would say probably sometime around when the next PlayStation console comes out. I don't expect it to come out in this generation. I would kind of expect it to come out for the next generation, if that makes sense. Or possibly whenever Xbox drop their own, Sony will probably announce their own, because when it comes to PlayStation, Sony is petty like that they will try to undermine Xbox, and that's how it's been for over the last couple of years when it comes to gaming. Alright, now we got our last bit of news to wrap up, and it comes from PlayStation. After 31 years, Shuhei Yoshida is retiring. Yes, it was announced during a PlayStation podcast that Shuhei Yoshida have announced that he is retiring from PlayStation on January 15 of next year. Man, he been working at PlayStation for 31 years. I believe he was originally the head of the first party studios. Like, he would go to every first party studio and check out to see how their game was running and stuff. And then he became head of indie game relations. So he was the one that you would go to try to get your like a indie game on their PlayStation platform and stuff. And he been like that since, when did he became that? I want to say since like 2019 he became that, I want to say. And it's kind of funny. I remember two stories about Shuhei Yoshida. The first one, I don't really, when it comes to like the heads of PlayStation, I only know like two or three of them. One is Sean Layden, who used to be the head of the PlayStation Studios. Then is Herman Hulse. He used to be the head studio of Guerrilla Games, but now he's the one of the PlayStation CEOs. And you got Shuhei Yoshida. And how I came across to know how Yoshida was is during the whole 2013 E3 event of the PS4 Xbox One. After when Xbox One announced their whole DRM policy that'd be hella restricted how you share your game with your friends and stuff, Shuhei Yoshida literally did a video with somebody from PlayStation showing, basically do like a tutorial how you share your games with friends, and they're just giving each other the game disc, the game case with the game inside. It was hella funny. And another one was when he went to Santa Monica Studios to see how the God of War 2018 was coming along. Corey Barlog told this story that when Yoshida came and basically play test the game, like the game was like hella buggy. It didn't have like the mechanics set in and stuff. He said Yoshida just got up, looked at him, and just left without saying nothing. So that basically goes to show that Yoshida basically said, you need to get this game up right before it comes out. So y'all need to he basically said, you need to get your shit together. So it is going to be upsetting to see Yoshida leave PlayStation. And it's definitely going to suck because people are going to use this for console war argument. Say like, oh, PlayStation really falling off, they're really gonna lose a Yoshida. Like, man, can the guy retire in peace? Like, shoot, I probably would want to retire if I was working at a company for 31 years. Like, come on now. Like, even though it may not look like for Yoshida, he's not getting any younger. And him probably like going around go to these indie studios and stuff to check out their game, to bring them to PlayStation and all that. I bet that could be very tiring, especially all that freaking traveling and stuff. So overall, He did an amazing job for PlayStation for the past 31 years, and the man deserved his retirement. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't got like a couple of games like Canon Bridge of Spirits, Stellar Blade, a couple of games like the I would consider Lost Souls being an indie. You know, it was originally made by one person. But overall, there's a lot of games that he brought to PlayStation that a lot of people love, and I am curious who they gonna have to who they gonna replace it with when it comes to the indie stuff. But we just have to wait and see when the time comes for retirement. I have a feeling he probably I don't think PlayStation themselves will pick to be his replacement. I think he probably have like somebody in mind already, because it is kind of weird that this whole retirement came out after the report, reports came out saying that the PlayStation, some PlayStation thing updated that you could see the lifetime sales of the PlayStation platforms and stuff through the years, and it updated to show that the PS2 sold 160 million lifetime consoles, because the original number it was 155 million. But during like some type of interview that Jim Ryan was doing before he left, he said that the actual numbers for the PS2 sold was 160 million. So I guess now they decide to finally update it for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, kudos to Shuei Yoshida. I hope he has a very good retirement and be able to relax and enjoy his life. Yeah, man, because you definitely earned it. So with that being said, that's all the news I have for you for the past couple of days. What do you guys think? Are you upset that Yoshida is leaving PlayStation? Are you excited for the supposed sci-fi game that Naughty Dog is doing? Are you going to get the PlayStation Portal, the next PlayStation handheld that they have coming out? Or are you excited for the next Witcher game? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoy your week and have a very happy Thanksgiving. I catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.